friends in Rotary and other friends of Rotary. Good evening. It's a pleasure to be addressing Rotarians of 3211. I can see a lot of familiar faces, a lot of friends, and of course, 3211 has played a very important role in my life. Not only because I was born in what is now 3211, what was earlier 3210. That is where I was born. I'm a native of the Travancore state, which subsequently came to the Tamil Nadu side, not the Kerala side. But otherwise, yes, I do have a close connection with Kollam and Thiruvananthapuram, etc. It's nice to be here back in familiar territory. Of course, as Thomas mentioned, my election as director was conducted at Trivandrum. So that again is a reason for me to be emotionally connected to 3211. And not only that, the chair of that nominating committee was PDG Raghu. I can't see 300 people almost there. I can't see whether Raghu is here or not, but I hope he is there. And thanks to him and the committee of nominating committee which elected me. Nice to see the trainer designate Murali, and I think I understand that several past governors are here. Unfortunately, unlike a physical meeting where they would all be seated in the first row, here I don't know where they are. It's difficult to spot who is here and who is not here. A good evening to all my friends and all the past governors, council of governors who are here. Nice to be amongst friends. Thanks to Dr. Tina also. She had been pursuing earlier when it was supposed to be at Kochi. Dr. Tina was the one who was in touch with me, trying to organize my travel and logistics, etc. And I was looking forward to it, and more so because I love curry meat, and I was looking forward to going to the Grand at Kochi to have my curry meat, but unfortunately, it's not to be. Hopefully, there will be an occasion soon enough when I can get that. Thanks, Dr. Tina. Anyway, I'm here. If not for physically, I'm virtually with 3211 now. This pets and sets is at a very, very critical juncture in our Rotary history. Several people, I've been addressing a lot of meetings over the last 3-4 weeks. More than one in a day. So given the technological advantage that we can leverage, it's been a few per day. So one thing that I realize or I sense is that several of the Rotarians are a bit apprehensive as to what kind of future is in store. Now, this is an unprecedented situation, unprecedented scenario. A couple of months ago, if I had suggested that you will be having pets virtually on a Zoom platform, and people would have called me mad. Or if I had suggested that Rotary International Convention would be cancelled in Hawaii and instead would be held virtually sometime later in June, I mean, they would have probably brushed me aside as a madman. But then, that's how life is. These are unprecedented times, unforeseen circumstances. Along with it comes a different set of new new parameters that we need to grapple with, we need to work with. I'm deliberately not using the word challenges, though many have said that these are challenging times. We need to face these challenges, surmount these challenges, take on these challenges, etc. But I'm very consciously and deliberately not opting for the word challenges. Instead, I would prefer to go with what our President-elect Holger has told all of us. I would think these are opportunities that have been provided to us. These are opportunities. Why would I say these are opportunities and not challenges? Let me elaborate a bit on that. First of all, this has ensured, particularly for the smaller and the, let's say, I wouldn't say weaker, but the smaller clubs, for instance, by the end of April or May, they would have run out of their finances. I don't know. I'm maybe politically incorrect when I say all these things, but yes, some of the smaller clubs I know would have probably run out of the club budgets to even conduct weekly meetings or fortnightly meetings. This is actually a blessing in disguise. Now you can conduct all meetings at no cost, almost. So many of the smaller clubs will be happy. I also see an opportunity because I'll tell you, for instance, my own club. We have not, I'm being very honest about it, using the 4-way test. I don't think my club has ever had more than 50% attendance for any of their meetings in the past. That may probably be the situation in most of our clubs in our regions. Maybe 50% at the most, other than the installation meeting and the governor's visit, rest of the meetings would all be around 50% attendance max. But now, post-lockdown, My president is having a meeting every week. Earlier it was once in 15 days. Now he's having a meeting every week. Not only that, he is getting an attendance of more than 80 to 90% now with Zoom. So many of the Rotarians whom I didn't think were in my club, I suddenly see them on screen. I say, oh, you are also in my club. All right, nice to see you. So these are opportunities which we were not prepared for. We had not anticipated. But I would think these are opportunities which we can leverage. Even earlier, somebody mentioned that I think Dr. Tina in her welcome address had mentioned, these are times where people are wondering how to conduct meetings or how to get the attendance or how to keep the bonding together, how to do projects. But suffice to say that we are an ingenious lot. I don't think we get bogged down by these small hurdles that come along the way. Most clubs are now conducting more frequent meetings with better attendance than ever. Okay, I do understand there is a limitation in terms of what a virtual meeting can offer, but let's not forget that this is not a situation that we have chosen to be in. This is not something we were asked for. This has been given to us. Like what we say in the bridge table. Maybe I'm sure some of you may be playing bridge. At the bridge table, this is the hand that has been dealt to us. At the table, this is the hand that has been dealt to us. We need to play with this hand. I cannot say I need ace of spade. What I have is what I have. So this is the hand that has been dealt to us, and we need to make the most of the hand that is dealt to us. So these are opportunities at a club level or at even a district level. For instance, you can organize even smaller meetings of fewer clubs. If you want to focus on, let's say, 10 clubs at a time, I think Dr. DG Thomas can organize even that. Earlier, all that would not have been possible. Or earlier, given the geographical spread, you might have had to have one meeting, let's say, in Tirunelveli, maybe one in Kollam or one in Kottayam, or I don't know. So, you need to spread it around. Now, sitting in your room, you can probably have all the clubs attend all the meetings. So there are a lot of advantages that come along the way. So I was telling some district a few days ago, if there are 10 reasons to worry about under these circumstances, if you have, I can give you 100 reasons to be happy about. That is the way things are. There are so many things that are actually working to our advantage. So now, given this scenario, what can be done? Let me address the presidents of the incoming year, specifically now. The incoming presidents of the various Rotary clubs in 3211. I'll tell you one thing. I was a president of my club, I think, about 20 years ago. And since then, I've worn different hats. I've been a district official thereafter, then governor thereafter, some Rotary coordinator, all kinds of things. Now I'm a director nominee. So I've traveled a long distance since my presidency. I've had different experiences along the way. But having done all that, honestly, my best year in Rotary thus far has been the year I was my club president. That's the best year thus far. I mean, I've had, as I said, I've had different experiences much beyond the club level. But if you were to ask me what has been my best year thus far, it's been the year I was my club president. The reason is very simple. That is probably the only time so far that I was truly the boss of whatever I wanted. I had the club where I was the boss, not even as a governor, and I could do whatever I wanted as a club president, whatever subject to the board's approval, fair enough. But if I have a dream, I had an option of making the dream become real. If I had a vision, I had a choice of working towards making that vision a reality. Even as a governor, that doesn't happen, because as a governor, you are ultimately dependent on the clubs to deliver. Governor does not have a team to deliver anything. He can only request the club, he can only motivate the clubs, or he or she can only inspire clubs to do something. But the clubs are the one where the action is. As a club president, you are deciding your destiny. You are just choosing to do whatever you need to do in the community that you live in. The kind of changes you want to bring about, kind of changes, difference you want to make, etc. But that is probably the 1 year where you're really the boss of all you survey. And you had a team of people who also are equally committed, who are also aligned to the same goals, who can get things done. So as a club president, it's probably the best year you will, many of you, I mean, I don't want to say nobody will become a president a second time, maybe one or two may become along the way. If you can brush that aside, for several people, for majority of you, this is probably the one-time opportunity you get in your life to be the president of your club and to make a difference that you have always wanted to make. So all you need to do is work with your Rotarians. your club Rotarians. You need to understand them. So my suggestion to you, my thoughts on that is, please take some time to understand and talk to each Rotarian individually. And in this lockdown time, I'm sure you have a lot of time to pick up the phone and talk to every single Rotarian of the club. If you have not done so far, please do it over the next few days before the lockdown is completely lifted. Please do so. Pick up the phone and talk to every single Rotarian of your club. And what you need to talk, it's not, of course, understanding how they are and how they are doing, how their family is. Besides that, please find out what they expect from Rotary. That is important. Several people have different expectations. There are some who expect to do some project. There are some who expect to improve their own personality skills, soft skills, leadership skills. Some who come to improve their network, friendship, fellowship, family network, whatever. None of this is wrong. None, including trying to expand your business network. It's not wrong as long as you do it ethically. So let's not get bogged down by a notion that you cannot talk business in Rotary. Of course you can. There's nothing wrong. Do it ethically. Don't expect favors, unreasonable favors because you are a Rotarian. Beyond that, you can, of course, leverage a network or Rotary connections for friendship, for business. In fact, I would say if I have, as a person in business, if I have two vendors from whom I have to choose one, considering other things being equal, other the price and the product, etc., being equal, if I have two vendors and one of them is a Rotarian, I would choose a Rotarian. Definitely, by 100 out of 100 times, I would choose a Rotarian, not a non-Rotarian. So there are a lot of reasons why people can be in Rotary. So my request to presidents is, please talk to each one individually, understand what their expectations from Rotary is, and try and deliver that during your year. If you can understand what the customer wants, if you can understand what your customers expect from your company, and being the CEO of your company, you can keep your customers happy. You've got a winner on your hands. At the same time, it's equally important that the happy customers go out and bring more customers to your business. I'm using a business parlance, but fair enough. I'm sure you understand what I mean. Because somewhere else I used this terminology of business and somebody felt offended. You mean to say Rotary is a business? I said, no, I'm not. I'm not even suggesting that. All I'm saying is, if you were to look at it like in a business model, and all you need is a set of happy customers, so they can go out and bring more customers. I don't know what Thomas's target or plans for the year is. Anything less than 15-20% growth is not acceptable for our region. And I would, it's not acceptable because it is, if you can we know our topography, we know our demography, we know how it works. So about 15-20% is required. And one more suggestion I want to give to the presidents here is, I know at the end of the year there will be a set of awards that you get. By Thomas, I don't know how many awards he is planning to give. I'm sure he will be planning to give some set of awards. Fair enough. But then, where is the competition? Are you competing with the other clubs? No, not at all. Because each club has got a different DNA. Each club has got a different composition, different set of challenges, different set of strengths, different set of weaknesses, etc. So there is really no competition with other clubs at all. Then am I saying that there is no competition at all? There is competition in Rotary. Maybe you may wonder as to why do I say so. The competition in Rotary is with yourself, is with what you think you can do and what you end up doing. Are you challenging your limits? Are you living up to your potential? Are you living up to what you can? Are you fully utilizing the set of skill sets that you've got and the capabilities that you've got? And you mean, I mean your club and your members. So ultimately the challenge is with what you can. Challenge is what you perceive you can, and whether at the end of the year you exceed what you thought you could do. As I said, this is probably a lifetime opportunity as a club president. So I would want each one of you to set your goals higher than what you think you can. There is nothing wrong if you don't achieve. So don't worry about it. It's not a life and death at all. But it's a question of self-satisfaction. It's a question of telling yourself, yes, I have done my best. Would you want to be an also run at the end of the year, or would you want to tell yourself with a lot of pride that, yes, I did my best. My club had this potential of this, and I did better than that. If you are able to say confidently at the end of 12 months that this is what you have done, you have got the best award possible. That is an elevation in your own mind about yourself. That is probably the best award you can ever get. If I'm feeling great about myself, that cannot be compared with anybody, anything else at all. But that is going to reflect in every single action of mine thereafter. In fact, it will have a rub-off effect on your business, on your family life, everywhere. If you are able to succeed in exceeding your expectations, I think it's going to be the best award you will ever get. So my request to you, club presidents, is please set some goals which are not easily reachable and try and work towards those goals. Challenge yourself. The competition is with your own self, not with anybody else. This is the race you are running. The race, if there are two people running in the race, one is what you think you can, and two is what your potential is. So I hope you are able to exceed what you think you can, and your potential is far more than what your perception is. So that would be a day when you will feel happy about it. Now, I also want to spend a few minutes talking about the district. I'm sure there are some assistant governors and some district officials also present here, because they are going to play a very, very key role in the coming years administration and delivering whatever is required, whatever is possible. They're going to play a key role. There, I want to stress on a few things. One, several people I have interacted with, quite a few of them around the country in various districts. Initially, on one-on-one conversation when I've had with them, the district officials, the AGs and things, and people like that, have kind of had a feeling that they were chosen to hold that position because, I mean, I hope I'm not quoted out of context here, because they have played a role in the governor's elections. Many people think, oh, we were part of this governor's team which may elected him and things like that. So governor has chosen to reward us with these positions. If you think that is the reason why you are there, I'm not even going into whether you help the governor, etc. I'm not interested in those kind of political matters. I'm not interested in that. But I know for sure only one thing, that if you thought that you were chosen because of your political affiliations, etc., or work prior to this, you can't be more wrong than that. You can't be. You could be probably the best friend, DG Thomas. You could be his right hand. You could be his left hand. All that is fine. But remember one thing: will a governor who has done a lot of hard work, who has done a lot of work over the years to reach the position that he has reached, will he want to mess up his year by choosing incompetent people for key assignments? Would anybody do that? I can assure you that in every district in Rotary, particularly in the Indian subcontinent, every governor knows which are the positions which will appear in the district directory but which will have no role to play, and he knows who to assign to those positions. There are several positions which will appear in the district directory but will have nothing significant to play. But the key positions, the key district officials like you assembled here, no governor will ever give it or assign an incompetent, useless person to that position just because he or she played a role in their election. So make no mistake. If you have been chosen to do a particular job, it is because you have been handpicked by the governor for your ability, for your skills, for your talent, and for your efficiency, not for anything else. It's on merit that you are there. Because governor, in as much as you and I want to do well, every governor also wants to do well in his year, because he has also got only 1 year to deliver. He is never going to become a governor again. So he has also got to deliver within that 1 year, and he will want the best of the talents around him. He's not going to mess it up by having incompetent people at all. So be confident that you have been chosen because of your merit, which also means you have a reason enough to deliver when it matters. You have been handpicked. There are thousands of people from whom he could have picked out anybody to be those positions. Other than the governor, none of the other positions are elected positions. These are the choice of the governor. These are nominated by the governor to those positions. If a governor has chosen you for that position, amongst 100 others whom he could have equally chosen for the same position, that means he sees merit in you, whether you see it or not. He sees merit in you. He sees your abilities. He sees your capabilities. So now you need to find that and find the merits that he has seen in you. Leverage that and ensure that you deliver whatever assignment is given to you. And if at the end of the day, you fail to deliver, it is not because of anybody else's fault. There is somebody else who saw merit in you, but if you fail to deliver, it means you have failed to see the merit in yourself. You have failed to see the merit in yourself. So friends, don't for a moment think that you are there for any reason other than merit. Because Thomas is, I'm sure, as keen on delivering a fantastic year for 30-11 as anybody can ever be. So take it seriously. But my one suggestion to you, the district officials here, the AGs here, take your job seriously. Don't take yourself seriously. It's very important. It's very important because several times, several occasions, the issues that happen between the district officials and the clubs, etc. I've seen. I'm being very practical about it. I'm not trying to couch it in very politically correct terms. Several times, the AGs has a problem with the club. It's because they did not invite him for a function, or they did not print his or her name in the invitation card. They did not seat him at the head table. All kinds of issues happen. But if you were to look at all these issues, I mean, I've seen enough of Rotary in our part of the world to seen it personally in several districts. But if you see, there's only one common thread running through all these problems. It is a perceived insult or a slight to the person, not to the position. So if you think a little more on this, maybe a little philosophically or a little dispassionately step behind and look at this, it is because you have taken yourself seriously. Oh, I was not invited. Whereas on the other hand, if you've taken a job seriously and done whatever was required for the job, you didn't have to demand to be seated at the head table. The club will automatically invite you. Because if they perceive you as a person who can deliver, who has been of use to you, or use to them, somebody who is knowledgeable and respectable, etc., they would respect you. Why not? Why would they not? So it all boils down to taking your job seriously rather than yourself seriously. Try and practice this. I'm telling you, this will be very, very useful for you in the years to come. Take your job very seriously. Don't cut corners there. Make sure you do a good job, whatever you have taken up, whatever you have taken up. Let me also tell you that if you have been given an assignment, this being a voluntary organization, nobody could have ever forced you to take up that assignment. Nobody could have ever forced you. Maybe somebody would have persuaded, somebody would have inspired, somebody would have motivated. But at every point in time, you had a choice of saying no to it. And there were many others who would have said yes to it in your place. You had a choice of saying no. But if you have decided to say yes, then you have a moral obligation to live up to that yes. You have a moral obligation to live up to that and deliver. So you have been given a chance to do something and a choice to say no to it to start with. You have chosen to say yes, now you need to do the job. So take your job seriously and make sure you deliver at the end of the day. Now there's others, the club office bearers who are other Rotarians who have been involved at various levels in Rotary in 30-11. I want to share a thought with you. Very often, the decisions we make in Rotary, the choices we make in Rotary are born out of ignorance. Let me elaborate on this. If I were to ask you, how many of you have contributed to Rotary Foundation? I don't know what will be the answer is. I do have the figures of 30-11. I'm not going there, but I'm sure RRFC John Daniel might be having more precise data, more up-to-date data on that. I'm not getting the actual data, but how many of you have bothered to ask what Rotary Foundation does, whether you contribute or not? This is the question I keep asking. Because there was a survey conducted some time back. I was a part of the team for South Asia on membership. We did a survey to find out why people leave Rotary. Why people leave Rotary. And there was one result that came out of this survey, which was 87% of the people who have left Rotary have not contributed even $1 to the foundation. You may be wondering whether I'm talking about foundation, I'm talking about membership, I'm talking about both. 87% of the people who have left Rotary had not contributed even $1 to the foundation. What does that mean? What does it imply? It implies that the moment you contribute even $100 to the foundation or $1,000 or whatever you contribute, Moment you contribute, you see yourself as a partner in this organization because your money is there. Moment you see yourself as a partner, you start asking questions about what foundation does. Moment you start asking questions, you get to know what great work Rotary Foundation does around the globe. And moment you come to know what Rotary Foundation does, you want to stay on and do something more yourself. And so you will stay back in the clubs, which is the problem which membership team would be addressing, that is membership retention. So where you start with foundation, contribute, understand, learn, be informed, then you stay on, members are retained, you go out and get more members to Rotary. So this is how it functions. So the lessons we can learn from this survey are that retention to membership or contribution to foundation all hinges on only one thing, one fundamental thing, that is knowledge. That is where all these training programs are useful. Understand what Rotary does, understand what foundation does, understand the kind of work that goes around the globe, understand what your district is doing, understand what your club is doing, understand what India is doing. There are, Thomas was talking about the 8 verticals, etc. I'm sure tomorrow Kamal will be talking about it. So understand all these things. After all that, after you get to know everything, you choose not to do anything for Rotary, it's your choice. I fully respect your wisdom, I fully respect your choice, I fully respect your intelligence. But let your decisions not be born out of ignorance. Let it be decided after you are fully knowledgeable. So my request to you all is take these training programs seriously. Focus on those training programs, get to know what Rotary is all about, understand what Rotary does. After that, you choose to do anything. That's your choice. Everybody is a grown-up, intelligent, smart individual. So I don't think anybody can think they know they have greater authority over anybody else. This is a voluntary body. But my only plea, only request to you is learn, understand. Otherwise, it will be like this is one of my favorite analogies that I talk about. It's like going to a shopping mall. Let's say the Lulu Mall in Kochi or some mall, similar mall in wherever you are. I am not too familiar with the malls in Tirunelveli or Kollam, but yes, Kochi, I do know there are also good malls. Let's say some mall. The mall has a food court, mall has a textile shop, mall has a jewelry shop, mall has a cinema theater, mall has a shoe shop, all kinds of things will be there. And let's say you go to a mall, shopping mall, and go straight to the food court, eat and come back. And then if somebody asks, how was that mall? You say, oh, that mall is useless. It's got only a restaurant. It's got nothing else. Is it the fault of the mall that you did not choose to see the shops? No, the mall has everything. But you did not to go about seeing any of the other things other than the food court. So you believe the mall has got only a food court. It does not have anything else. But actually, Rotary is a similar story. Rotary as an organization has everything for everyone. Provided you go look around and see what is there inside that Rotary, the mall called Rotary. So if you have chosen not to look around, it's not Rotary's fault, but it's your loss that you have not bothered to see what it has got to offer. So my request to you is, each one of you, I can tell you with confidence that Rotary has a lot to offer, hell of a lot to offer. It's up to us to actually look around, go around, see what is in store, and then choose what we want. It's a menu. Even these 8 verticals that we're talking about, water, sanitation, health, literacy, environment protection, disaster management, all kinds of things. It's not necessary for every district, every club to do all 8 at all. It's not necessary. But like as we see in a restaurant, there's a menu card. I normally have, as I said, if I go to Kochi, I'll look at the entire menu card and say curry mean podichittu. That's it. After the rest of it is gone. So you might like for 3211 may look at the entire menu card and still focus on only water or winds or washed stools. That's your choice. But at least look at the menu card. Look at the menu card and see what you like. You may probably some clubs may like something else. Some clubs may like to work on environment, something of that sort. But this is the menu that Rotary has got to offer. So if you have not found what you wanted, it's not because it's not there in Rotary. It is because you have not turned all the pages of the menu card. You've probably seen one sheet of it and said, oh, I don't find what I want. So make sure you go through all the entire menu card, thick, fat menu card that is given to you. So each of those training programs that you will be undergoing with pets and sets and assemblies and membership seminar, grant management seminar, project seminar, all kinds of seminars you'll be having. Each of this has got a purpose, and what main among them would be to make you aware of the menu card, make you aware of the choices that you have, make you aware of the potential that Rotary has got to offer. So that you can, first of all, you need to educate yourself. You need to feel happy about your membership. If I were to go back to a business parlance, business analogy, each one of you has spent time, money, effort, skills on Rotary. Each one of you. You have done all these things. So if I were to use a business analogy, you have invested in Rotary. So as any investor would always claim, what is the return on investment that you're going to get? What is your ROI? It's not ROI in terms of money, but is it ROI in terms of experience, ROI in terms of knowledge, ROI in terms of satisfaction, ROI in terms of emotional comfort. So you have chosen to invest in Rotary, your time. Forget the money part, even subscription, I'm not even the money. You've chosen to invest your time. You've chosen to invest your emotions. You've chosen to invest your skills, your talents, everything. So make sure you get the proper ROI on that. And that ROI will come to you only if you learn to understand and get involved. The moment you get a decent ROI on the investment you made in Rotary, what will you do? You'll ask friends also to invest, right? Like you find a good mutual fund, you get a good return on it, you'll say, hey, put your money in this mutual fund. It gives a good return. Or whatever, if you've chosen to invest in gold or whatever be it. Similarly, the investment that you have made in Rotary, if you find it's a good enough investment that gives you a lot of satisfaction, you are going to spread the word. You are going to tell your friends and relatives and acquaintances, I have made this investment, why don't you? Because it's got a good ROI. That is what ensures Rotary grows in the days to come. So if Rotary has to grow and survive the next 115 years, we are already 115 years old now. And whatever we are today, the 12 lakh members or 12.5 lakh members, and we may be 13 lakhs if Shekhar Mehta's dream comes true with all your support, we may be 13 lakhs, 13.5 lakhs in a year or two. If it has reached this kind of levels and strength, surviving world wars and plagues and depressions and Spanish flus and Vietnam War and Korean War and what have you, it also survived COVID-19. Don't doubt it. It will also survive COVID-19. Will also grow. But what happens to Rotary in the years to come, it's not determined by what has happened in the past. It will be determined by what we do today. It is in our hands ultimately to decide our fate, our future, or the years to come. So friends, let me end with a request to all of you. Rotary is indeed an organization which has got a lot of options, lot of menu, lot of choices to make sure we make the best of the opportunities that come our way. And COVID-19 and the scenario that we find ourselves into today, situation we find ourselves in today, is also, in my opinion, a great opportunity to change the way we think, the new normal that we're working with, and everything can be worked to our advantage, everything can be leveraged to our advantage, if only we set our mind right. So my good wishes to every one of you, and you can count on me for any help or any assistance or any guidance that you may require at any point in time. As I said, 3211 is as good as my home district. So I'll be happy to, I have only one, if I were to come, hopefully when situation eases, if I come to any part of 3211, Thomas, my request to you, even if you are not there, make sure my curry meal is there. All right?
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Good luck. Thank you. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for